What up guys, your boy Jose, and this is a nursing school update. Last week I just took my last exam for my AMP nursing. Well, not my last exam, my last unit exam. The way the program that I'm in is you have unit exams, which is divided into 80% the unit and there's a 20% quiz. So that helps you out. Unless you mess up on the quiz, you fail it, and that's not a good thing. But I took my last exam, which is the renal, and I did really good on it. I needed to do really good on it. The week prior from that, I switched up my study habits and I didn't do good, like no front. Like I had my total grade for that was 71. So yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Last minute I decided to switch up my study habits and like, but aside from that, I fixed it up. And lesson learned is what works for you works for you. Like what happened to me is I got really comfortable and I was like, you know what, I'm going to switch up my study habit just because I can. Like I know my average is in the high 90s, so it doesn't really matter. Let me try to switch it up. And I switched it up and it messed me up, and I learned better to not do that. Even my teacher was like, this isn't you, what is this? I was like, miss, I switched up my study habit. And she was like, change it back. And she asked me like, what is it? I was like, I did a study group. And she was like, listen, some people work in study group. Well, I've always been saying I work best by myself, but I guess like I didn't want to be too introverted with my class, because like I felt like I've secluded myself in class so much to the point like I don't really interact with them. And I don't know, for a minute I was feeling left out, because you know I came from another program, and like when you're coming from another program, it's different. Regardless of these are my new classmates, they're not my old classmates, we didn't even come from the same school, I still felt different. And that's one thing you're going to experience. Like if you come from another program and you're like, I'm going back to nursing school, you're going to have that feeling. And I hope I'm not to actually, oh crap, I need to get lotion. But like you're gonna have that feeling where it's like I felt out of place, and I felt out of place, and I switched up my study habits, knowing that my study habits worked for me. But I tried to be more social and like get into a study group, and it didn't work out. Good thing is the renal, I had a high 90s, and that fixed up my average to the point like my teacher was like, how was it? And I was like, good, like 90s. And she was like, regardless of whatever, even if it's a 90, that grade don't exist no more. Because regardless of that grade before, I had a 89 overall. She was like, I wouldn't even worry about it, because you know, even if you mess up in this test, that's all good, because your overall average is still like 89. Don't get down. And I was like, I'm not getting down. Like I know I could pass this exam. Like, you know, did the renal, and like I think like there was some people who thought that I was gonna fall apart. Like I think there was some people that was like, oh Jose, don't let this be a consistent thing. I was sensing it. Like people was like that, you know, but I was like, no, like I know the material. The only thing I switched up my study habits, and it was bad. And I bounced back up. I bumped myself back up. Therefore, this is a video about dealing with getting a grade that you don't want. When you're getting a grade that you don't want, you're gonna feel really depressed. You're gonna feel, and it's okay. It's okay for you to feel sad. It's okay for you to feel discouraged. It's normal. It's a human thing, especially in the nursing program. You're not gonna pass every exam. I didn't switch up that study habit. I would have passed every exam, but it's a learning habit, like learning lesson. You make that mistakes and you just fix it. I fixed it and it was good. But what's important is you switched it up. Like, the problem with a lot of nursing students is they continue the same pattern. Don't continue the same pattern. If you took one test and that one test didn't work, switch it up. And don't do the same thing, because if it don't work the first time, it's definitely not gonna work the second time, and you're just playing yourself. You're gonna get easy college. Congratulations, you played yourself. You just need to switch it up. And like the thing is, you also need to know your average. It's important for you to know your average, because if you don't know your average, it's a wrap. I wouldn't play with your grade if you don't know your average. I wouldn't try to improve anything if you don't know your average. I knew my average, so I tried to switch it up so that I was gonna fix it, but it didn't. But for the people who are borderline, the best thing you could do is ask other people what they do. Like, ask them, what do you do? What do you do that helps you, that gets you those grades? They'll tell you something, try it out. If it don't stick, dead it. Switch it up to the next one. Ask people. Go on social media and ask people, you're in the nursing program and like I noticed you're doing really good. Any advice? Ask advice. Ask. Don't be one of those people that's like, oh, the next test, oh, the next test, because you're gonna keep on saying the next test, and you're going to repeatedly do the same thing over and over, and by the time when you hit like the all the way in the end, you're gonna be like, I can't even fix myself, I can't even do nothing. Me, I have this thing, it's called a safety net. Thing is, you need to have a safety net. Safety net is to know, okay, my overall average is this, it is passing. And I'm like you, I'm a type of person that I keep saying it to people, but like, yo, if you pass, you pass, that's all that matters. But if you're borderline all the time, borderline, you don't have that safety net. You'll always have to pass, because if not, you don't have that safety net to bounce you back up. Like I had my safety net, and that safety net, like if I didn't have that safety net, I would have to score like, I don't know, like an 80 or a 90 or like 100 on one of the tests. And people been in that situation. Like there's people that fail out on 74, passing in New York is 75. It don't matter. Like I tell people, it don't matter if you get a 75 or a 100, it's a pass. It don't matter if you have a 74 or I don't know, like a 50, it's still a fail. And yeah, it's just ask people, ask them. They're like, how do you study? And ask people that you can relate to, people who think like you. If you see them, if you know you vibe with them in a certain way, you know they're artistic or they're like very tactile, they're auditory, they're visual and stuff like that, and you're that type of person, ask them. But it don't make sense for you to ask if you're like a type of person that like to read. Don't ask a person that's auditory, because the person that's auditory is gonna give you advice good for the auditory learner. You gotta make sure that it makes sense, it clicks. And to be honest, like just repetition. Like I've been passing all my exams except for that one test that screwed me over, trying to play with my grade, trying to experiment. But aside from that, like even with that, I still had a 89. You feel me? My over average, that bounce. And that bounce really helped me out. That safety net. And that safety net, I keep telling people, be like, do you have a safety net? If you don't have a safety net, study. And like, studying, sometimes videos work, sometimes drawing things out, sometimes listening, sometimes writing things, index cards, stuff like that. Sometimes reading, like most of the time, it's just reading. Like, people ask me all the time, like, how do you study? I read until my eyes start bleeding. Like, people ask me all the time, like, are you high? Like, no, my eyes is really dried out because I've been reading more than 5 hours, and I just been reading with my eyes wide open on the same text, and it strains out your eyes. And that's what I do. Like, I don't even do questions. Like, a lot of people goes, oh, if you do as much question, it'll help you. Yes, if you do as much question, it will help you. It'll help the people who's not familiar with questions. I'm familiar with questions, so I don't need to do those questions. I know what type of question comes out. Like, I know if they ask this, they're expecting this. If they ask that, they're expecting that, because nursing school questions aren't really up front. They're never up front. They're very like, use your critical thinking. What is this? This situation. All of them are correct. Which is most correct? Stuff like that. And like, so when it comes down to questioning, if you're gonna do as much questions as you can, do as much questions as you want, you can, to just make yourself comfortable. But don't expect the same questions are always gonna come out. And people mess up on that because they think, oh, I'm doing so much question, and this question came out so much. It's like that. I tell people, read your textbook, write in your textbook. Like, I draw on my textbook. I draw on my exam. Like, sometimes most of the time I draw my exam. I think like I was wondering like I wonder what my teacher actually thought, because I drew out the rationale and everything, and that's how I am too. Like I write out the rationale, and like I always wonder, be like, I hope she don't think I'm cheating. Like I'm writing out the explanation so another person can see it, because my handwriting's horrible, so they can't even read that. But I'm saying like sometimes I draw pictures, and it helps. Like it really helps. I write in my textbook, like legit. I highlight, I circle, I do all this and that. I like, I got a notepad that I draw diagrams, because it's anatomy and physiology, and you need to know the physiology aspect of it. Like that, like the renal, I drew it out. Like I drew it out over and over, repetition, like. For you to know it, you need to build a memory, and for you to make a memory out of it, you need to be repetitive, like consistently. It's like, don't expect, it's like riding a bike. When you're riding a bike, like you're not gonna ride a bike and that's it. You know it. The more you keep on doing, the more you get better at it. Keep doing that. But if you don't pass the test, don't think it's the end of the world. Unless your average is like really messed up and like, you know, you're in trouble. You better start doing something. You better like start kissing some serious butt. Or if it comes down to the point where your school is going to allow you to come back, just know that, okay, I messed up on this, I could repeat it, but I need to make sure I focus on this one, and whatever mistake I made on that one, I have to fix it on this one. And don't expect every class is the same, because certain classes are different. Like you can't study for fundamental the same way as in med search. Med search and pediatrics, you could study the same way. Maternity is completely different. The informations are different. The way you attack it is completely different, and it's stressful. And like right now, I'm getting. I hope I'm getting over a cold. Like I felt sick yesterday, and then I was like, oh crap, I need to feel better. And I've been taking care of myself. Like I'm 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, zinc, water intake, like water galore. I've been drinking water like non-stop, and like I'm getting better off it. But that's one thing too, like you don't make excuses for yourself. You're better than that. Don't be like, oh well, you know what, there's some valid excuse, like, oh, I have work. Yes, you have work, but when you get into this program, you know that it's stressful. In the interview process, they told you, they're like, yo, it's hard, and you gotta be responsible enough and take responsibility of it. But like, if it comes down to the point where it's like, you know that you work 5 days a week and you need that job to support yourself, because you need to support yourself, take your book and break it apart and put it in your back pocket. Like I do that. Like I break my book apart, and the reason why I break my book apart is like this one, it's in different chapters. They don't go in order. So for me to just process it in my brain, where it's like I don't have to switch around or carry 2 textbooks. I have this, and I have this in my back pocket. So if I need to study for A&P, I could do it. The only reason why I didn't break it because it's pretty dope. It has like a lot of good information. Like it has a chart and all that. This textbook is awesome. It's awesome because it's A&P and also related to nursing. Like I had an A&P like in my old school. I had to take A&P, and it was just regular A&P. This one, it literally has med search information in it. Like they had a symptom, like not the symptom. They had the diagnosis and stuff like that, the disease and stuff like that. It's really good. But yeah, like I break my book apart, and when I break it apart, I can put it in my back pocket. If I go to clinicals, I can have it in my pocket. I can have it folded up. Like this is mine, so I could just be like, oh, gotta go, take it, boom, and I have my notes. I have it in my back pocket. Unfold it. The only thing is you gotta be responsible and make sure you don't lose it, because if you lose it, it's a wrap. Unless you make photocopies of it. That's pretty smart. But still, that's a lot, because usually a chapter is like 50 pages or 150 to 100 pages. So yeah, like don't make excuses. If you know that there's always a solution. Like if you're working really hard, cut down your hours if it's possible. That's why you need a support group. In the interview type of thing, they always ask, do you have a support group? That's why, because though you'll hit roadblocks, your kids will want to spend time with you. Have a babysitter. Tell your kid, be like, I don't know, get them a Wii, and like, I don't know, like, while they play the Wii, have your thing study. Your girlfriend or boyfriend want to spend time with you. If your girlfriend or boyfriend really cares for you, they'll make time. They'll be like, I understand, no problem, I'm gonna fall back real quick. They're gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna even lie, like, they'll get pissed because they're gonna feel jealous and stuff like that. But if they're understanding, they're understanding. But it's normal for them to feel that way. So expect that. Don't just be like, you know what, you don't care, alright, fine. But expect that. And yeah, you just need to adapt. No, adopt is like, well, you know what I'm talking about. You just need to like work around it, work with the thing, like, and if you don't do good, bounce back up. And don't just say it. Don't just be like, next test I'm going to do better. You can't do better if you keep doing the same thing. You're fooling yourself. You're lying to yourself, because you're just doing the same thing over and over. Same thing over and over. You can't solve a problem with the same mindset, with the thinking. Like, you need to switch it up. Be like you can't just keep on doing the same thing over and over. It's like you going 1 + 1 = 3, and in your head you just keep on going 1 + 1 = 3. I don't understand. No, you have to switch it out. 1 1 2. Okay, makes sense. 2. You just need to switch it up. You need to like do with it, especially in the beginning of the semester. That's the time when it's really important for you to just understand and know yourself. Like, know yourself, the way you are, the way you think, the way you function. If you don't try to make someone that's completely different from you. Find someone that's relatable to you, who thinks like you, who acts like you, who you see are doing really good in school, and ask them in nursing school, not college, because college, nursing school is completely different. Ask a person, you know what, me and you have the same attitude, same this and that. How do you deal with it? And they'll tell you. And don't expect people. Don't rely on people. That's the worst thing you can do. Rely. Don't rely on people. There's teamwork in nursing school, but like, you know, every single team player have the role. They have the role to do what they have to do. Because if it's like that, like if it's like a team where they rely on each other so much, but one member cracks, the whole team falls apart. So you don't even want to be in those type of teams. Just be your own team, do your thing, read, repetitive, keep on going. You can do this. Don't think that you can. And if things happen, bounce back up. Look at me, I bounce back up. I mean, I felt depressed, I was sad, I was like, oh my god, I have to start all over. All over. But I was like, you know what, this is what I really want to do. I really want to do this. Let me do this. Let me do it over from the beginning. And like, matter of fact, this is better, because whatever I know from the past that I know that didn't work, I wouldn't do it over, except for that one time. Well, my AMP, I learned better now, because I was like, well, this is a different situation. Maybe I would learn. No, don't do that. If you know it don't work for you, don't do it. Don't switch it up. Do what you gotta do. Like, be selfish. Be selfish. Be incredibly selfish. Be selfish. That's all I have to. Be selfish. Your family, they're going to have to wait. Your friends, they're gonna have to wait. Well, that's true. Your girlfriend, boyfriend, they're going to have to wait. Your social life, gotta wait. Your happiness, gotta wait. Welcome to nursing school, because nursing school is hard as but you know what? You could do this, bro. You the best. We the best. I appreciate you. DJ Khaled. And every time when you see the exam, and you just look at it, be like this. Well done. You know what? Congratulations, exam. You just played yourself, because I'm about to make some crazy loving and get a really dope ass grade, and it's about to be lit, like super lit. Bam. That's how I think. I know people. I know my classmate. Like, I have a classmate in front of me. I know she knows. I be saying that out loud. Be like, it's about to be lit. Congratulations, you just played yourself. You're the best. And always, like, before you're taking an exam, be like, yo, you got this. And if you didn't do good on that exam, and you know you tried really hard, still pat yourself. Even if you don't get out like the grade that you want. Even if you have a 74 or whatever, if you know you studied really, pat yourself. Be like, yo, you tried really hard. That's good. That's all that matters. But of course, change it up and switch it up and fix it. So I'm gonna end this video. Peace out. You got this. Let's do this. It's lit. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and actually believe in yourself. And I say it all the time to people. Good days bring happiness. Bad days bring strength. So have strength. Have faith. Be confident. Believe in yourself. I'm gonna keep on. Believe in yourself. You got this, bro. You got this.